CTV News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with a call from a downtown London councillor for a provincial review of for-profit addiction treatment pharmacies. With more on the reaction, here's Daryl Newcomb.
This is clearly a system that's not working.
Councillor David Ferreira watches video recorded Wednesday over 20 minutes on Dundas Place of people outside MedPoint Care Pharmacy where addiction and treatment medication is dispensed.
Frustratingly not surprised. You hear this. I hear this from my constituents. I hear this from business owners. I hear this from many people in the area.
This letter from Ferreira to a council committee warns, quote, without stronger regulation and clearer standards, gaps in care will persist and both patients and communities will continue to be negatively impacted. An attached motion requests that his letter be sent to Ontario's Ministry of Health, the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario, and the Ontario College of Pharmacists. Ferreira's motion goes on to request that the Mayor advocate to the province for an immediate review of what he describes as high-volume, for-profit dispensary and treatment models and to improve their oversight. Pharmacies have been dispensing methadone and other medications used to treat addiction for many years under provincial regulations.
The garbage at night, the girls are scared to go because they don't feel safe.
But last month, CTV News spoke to a business in Northeast London where a pharmacy offers a newer addiction treatment model involving a combination of in-person and virtual care by doctors.
Change needs to be made now. It's not only for the communities that are being impacted surrounding these areas, but it's also for the people who need that extra care and that extra support. Like, it's not working for anybody. It's only working seemingly for these for-profit corporate entities.
In a statement, MedPoint Care Pharmacy writes, quote, we are committed to maintaining a safe and respectful environment for everyone in and around our pharmacy. We have clear operational protocols in place, maintain consistent staff presence, and take a proactive approach to addressing concerns and ensuring orderly conduct. Ferreira emphasizes his concerns are not intended to reopen debate about safe supply or harm reduction, rather address how the for-profit model is operating.
It doesn't provide those extra wraparound supports. It doesn't provide that comprehensive healthcare pathway.
Ferreira's motion will be considered by the Strategic Priorities and Policy Committee on April 21st. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
London police say 2 people were taken to hospital after a crash in the North End last night. London firefighters shared this image from Sunnigdale Road, just west of Wonderland. 2 vehicles were involved, one of which flipped into a ditch where it caught fire. Police say the 2 drivers were both taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A resident in a rural section of northeast London says rampant copper theft is happening along his street. Those concerns are raised on the heels of a new report from Ottawa calling copper theft a threat to public safety. Brian Bicknell reports.
Looks like copper thieves. In this occasion, they have actually cut down the pole that supports all the copper lines for the internet and the phones and whatnot.
Matthew Beingessner investigates what he believes is the reason his internet is down. He says overnight, suspected copper thieves stripped this pole for its copper wire. He says it's the 3rd time in the past 2 weeks in the area.
I got to shout out to the wonderful bell techs that have been running here and fixing things every time it happens. They're great.
Along a stretch of Kaleli Road east of Highbury, there is no shortage of evidence that utility equipment may have been tampered with. Severed wire hangs from posts with the insides exposed, while thick wire is down to shreds in places along the post line. At one suspected theft site, a pair of wire cutters is left on the ground.
Everything to the east side here is completely interrupted, so there's no internet, there's no five, there's no landlines, there's no fax machines.
He's sounding the alarm as a new report from Ottawa sheds light on how widespread the problem of copper theft has become. Released this week, Stolen Signals says there's an urgency to act due to the impact on telecommunication outages, which sometimes leave areas without phone or internet services and no access to 911.
It's a little outside the box for the Senate Transport and Communications Committee to look at a criminal law problem, but because copper wire theft has such a devastating impact on communications infrastructure across the country, we wanted to take a moment to see what we could bring to an understanding of why this was such a problem.
According to the report, the telecommunications industry estimates a 200% increase in theft and vandalism incidents from 2022 to 24, crimes that threaten public safety and human life. The report recommends the federal government amend the criminal code to impose more serious penalties for metal theft, which causes damage to critical infrastructure. It encourages provincial and territorial governments to regulate the sale of scrap metal and calls for a task force on metal theft to promote information sharing across law enforcement.
We've reached out, we've reported to London Police, who also said that Bell reports every time that there's an issue as well.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
A woman who embezzled her own mother out of her $150,000 residential school settlement told the court today she was remorseful. With more, here's Nick Paparella.
As the two-day sentencing hearing wrapped up, 56-year-old Ursula Dockstader gave a lengthy and tearful address to the court, saying she was sorry. Last spring, she was found guilty of fraud over $5,000 and uttering forged documents. It was in September of 2023 that Dockstader received her mother's $150,000 check. It was settlement money from a class action lawsuit against the Canadian government for residential school victims. Dockstader was the power of attorney for her elderly mother, Caroline, who now lives in the U.S., and she simply put the check in her own personal bank account and spent it. Dockstader, a former Oneida Nation of the Thames band counselor, told the court, "I made some very bad decisions, which has caused me shame and embarrassment. It hurt me. It cost me my job." She took a shot at her mother, saying, "I have no trust or faith in her as a mother. She's lying." In the end, she did say, "I'm truly sorry for what I've done." Defense lawyer Karen Simpson is asking that her sentence be stayed because of a lengthy delay in getting a GLADU report completed, which examines the background of Indigenous offenders, adding that at most, she should only receive a conditional sentence. However, Crown Attorney Jeremy Carnegie is asking that Dockstader serves a 2-year custodial sentence. Justice Kevin McHugh will hand down his decision in the case on April 24th. Nick Paparella, CTV News.
A First Nation near Sarnia has filed a lawsuit against a neighboring chemical plant. According to a letter from the Aamjiwnaang Chief and Council, the suit was filed last month against Ineos Styrolution over elevated benzene levels. It indicates the First Nation is seeking financial compensation for the company as well as environmental restoration efforts. No specific dollar figure was provided, though. The company shut down operations in Sarnia late last year. According to the letter, band leaders have company documents they say state Ineos closed the facility because of economic reasons well before a state of emergency was declared in 2024. The lawsuit has not been tested in court. London Police Service Board members are putting forward a motion to maintain the board's current size at 7.
That the motion is to authorize the chair to sign correspondence on behalf of the board, recommended that London City Council confirm that the size of the board be maintained at 7 members.
During today's meeting, the board chair said back in 2024, the Community Safety and Policing Act came into force, replacing the Police Services Act. He said if there's no motion to determine the size of the board before the next municipal election, the board would go back to 5 members. It will be up to City Council to pass the motion later this year.
We don't believe that that's the size that a city like London needs with the issues that we're facing and with the size of the police service and the oversight that's needed. So we moved today to have 7 people for it to remain at the current membership, and we're asking council to endorse that.
Back on my first term of council, we actually expanded the size of the Police Services Board from 5 to 7. The city was growing, having municipal representation, both an additional councillor appointed. It made sense at the time. It's the largest expenditure in the municipality, and it allows for a greater voice on there. My position hasn't changed since then. I think 7 is working quite well. I think we've seen a proof of concept over the last number of years. There's lots of work to do.
A new lobby group has been established working on behalf of Japanese companies building vehicles in southern Ontario. Toyota and Honda have combined to form the Pacific Manufacturing Association of Canada. The two companies accounted for about 3/4 of vehicles produced in Canada last year. Toyota's Canadian plants are in Woodstock and Cambridge. Honda makes vehicles in Alliston. This comes amid manufacturing struggles under U.S. tariffs and preparations for new North American trade agreement negotiations.
I think everybody anticipates that this is going to be one of the most dynamic years for the economy, for the automotive industry, for trade negotiations. And so we need all hands on deck, and we need people pulling in the same direction. And I think we're going to see that.
London police are warning about a popular game among high school students called the Senior Assassin Game. Police say it involves graduating students shooting each other in public with water guns or Nerf-style toys. However, police say they've been called to several incidents where residents thought the kids were using real guns. Police say carrying imitation weapons in public can result in criminal charges. Coming up, to the moon and back, the crew of Artemis 2 answers the world's burning questions after their return home from space. Canada's main stock was weighed down by losses in the financial and utility sectors. In Toronto, the TSX fell 104 points, while in New York, the Dow gained 115 and the Nasdaq added 87. The Canadian dollar is up 1/5 of a cent, and on commodity markets, gold lost more than $15 an ounce and oil gained $3.04 a barrel. Amazon is introducing a fuel surcharge for Canadian sellers using its fulfillment program. Canadian companies using Amazon to pick up, pack, and ship goods will now have to pay a new surcharge to cover rising fuel costs. Officials say the 3.5% fee will take effect tomorrow. The war in the Middle East is also sending the cost of helium higher. A global shortage is developing, and as Alison Bamford reports, the gas is used for much more than just filling up balloons.
Tana Dietrich is going through her balloon shop's website after removing every single helium product they once offered.
We got about an hour's notice that we were no longer going to be getting helium.
Shipping constraints and damage to production facilities in the Middle East have essentially cut off 1/3 of the world's helium supply, forcing the balloon bar YQR to pivot.
There's an option for everyone that is going to be air-filled and not rely on the helium supply.
But a global helium shortage does more than just deflate a few balloons. The gas in its liquid form is crucial in semiconductor manufacturing, aerospace, and acts as a coolant for MRI machines.
So much is used for these high-tech applications that are essential to our way of life.
Last month, suppliers warned Saskatchewan's health authority that its helium allocations could be cut in half. For right now, the province is still getting its normal supply, while hospitals across the country monitor the shortage closely.
There is no system-wide shortages at this time impacting patient care in Canada.
The industry says it underscores the need for Canada to develop its own domestic supply.
The helium sector in Saskatchewan alone could grow to 10% of the world's supply. But growth is stalled.
This week, Saskatchewan's energy minister was in Ottawa lobbying for policy changes to help grow the sector and make the province a reliable helium supplier in times like these.
Canada has a great opportunity. Saskatchewan has a greater opportunity.
As Saskatchewan looks to expand the helium business, Dietrich is confident in getting out of it.
We have no intentions of going back. It's always going to be a finite resource.
A move she hopes to see balloon in sales. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A man in Toronto area says he's facing a hefty repair bill, claiming his airbag suddenly deployed without warning. Pat Foran has more on what happened and why the manufacturer is refusing to cover the cost.
I was driving. I was 10 minutes away from home. It was terrifying.
Victor Sanchez of Mississauga says it was in February when he was driving his 2025 Ram 1500 truck. He says without warning, the airbags deployed.
My airbags went off with no collision. It was both my curtains and both my seats.
Sanchez says the loud bang startled him and almost caused him to lose control.
I only felt like a huge explosion. My hazard lights went on. I was disoriented at the moment. Pretty scary, to be honest.
He says he was glad it's a newer truck still under warranty because he was told replacing the airbags and other components of the safety system would cost $15,000 to $20,000.
All my headliner has to be replaced. My seats need to be replaced. All my seat belts need to be replaced, and all the modules.
Sanchez took the truck to his dealer and was told there would have to be an investigation. It's been over a month, and he says he can't get answers. When CTV News reached out to Stellantis Canada, a spokesperson said data from the vehicle's occupant restraint control module indicates the vehicle was beginning to tip, and multiple onboard systems predicted a rollover event. The airbag deployment operated as designed, and no manufacturing defect was identified. Stellantis said since there was no defect, the cost will not be covered, adding warranties do not cover repairs required due to fire, accidents, abuse, negligence, and misuse. Sanchez worries he'll now be out of pocket for the repairs and the rental car he's been driving. He didn't expect to have such a large repair bill on a newer vehicle.
We're talking about a $90,000 truck I just bought. It was my dream truck. I worked for 5 years a lot to buy it, and I haven't been able to use it. And I'm still responsible for car payments, insurance.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Good evening. We still have some very light rainfall, but that will come to an end overnight. Watch for fog. And first thing tomorrow morning, we have a break day on the way. Friday, we have some sunshine in the forecast, but we will start the morning cloudy. The temperature a bit cooler, but still above normal at 8 degrees first thing in the morning with winds light. Thanks, Beth, for this photo of Sophie and Max out at the dog park. I'm sure the dog parks are extremely wet. We will have a bit of drying out on Friday, but another round of rain comes in on Saturday. Stay with us. Your local forecast is coming up in just a few minutes.
Julie is here now with a detailed look at your weather. Julie?
Thanks so much, Lauren. Rainfall warnings ending after an extremely mild day. It was a wet one once again with that stationary boundary waving over the Great Lakes, generating rounds of heavy rainfall. Ground is completely saturated, so we do have some localized flooding in low-lying areas. Please keep that in mind. Our rivers and streams, of course, getting a lot of moisture throughout the week. Drying out for your Friday and some sunshine on the way. 12 and 1 is what's normal for this time of year. We were into the upper teens today. The rain winding down overnight and fog expected. Watch for fog overnight and first thing in the morning. High pressure builds in for your Friday. That will clear conditions out and bring us back some sunshine. Looking good on Friday afternoon. We'll clear right out. And then we have another weather system coming in on a Saturday. This is a cold front, and this will bring a sharp drop in our temperature as we head into Sunday. So we have rain in the forecast Saturday with gusty winds expected to develop in advance of this front. The cold front will come through, and then the temperatures go crashing down Sunday into Monday. You're not going to love those overnight lows. Temperatures tonight, 8 to 9 degrees along the lakeshore of Huron of 5 degrees. Tomorrow morning, the winds will be light and variable. Sunny breaks heading towards noon hour and a mix of sun and cloud with clearing skies. Friday afternoon, the high 20. 19 degrees on a Saturday. I mentioned the gusty winds in advance of that front, and then the temperature drops. We're down to 6 degrees on Sunday. Chance of showers and windy conditions, -3. So Sunday night, skies will briefly clear and the temperatures will drop. Parts of Midwestern Ontario could see a few flakes mixing in. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud, probabilities on the lower end. And we will hit 14 degrees Tuesday. So that's where we should be for this time of year. So the good news is we only have a couple cold days and then things return to normal. So just a brief pause on the warm spring-like weather. Midwestern Ontario tomorrow, clearing conditions, forecast high 19 to 20 degrees. Temperatures will be a bit varied from here on Perth to Grey Bruce, a bit cooler areas further to the north. And then we do have showers with the risk of thunderstorms on Saturday, chance for showers heading into Sunday with the risk of some PM flakes. I can't even say the word. Temperature drops down to about -5 heading into Monday, 2 degrees. 11 on Tuesday, there's your rebound. Wednesday into Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud, and daytime highs from 11 to 14. So recapping, we're out of the rainfall overnight, fog developing, fog around first thing in the morning. We'll clear the skies out after lunchtime to a mix of sun and cloud right across southern Ontario. Temperatures once again will feel nice and warm. It will be an absolutely beautiful day. And then the rain and gusty winds come in on Saturday, and your cool down arrives on Sunday. Back to you.
Thanks, Julie. There are flood watches and warnings in place across many parts of the country right now as regions deal with days of relentless rain and melting snow. As Adrian Gabriel reports, in some parts it's expected to get worse before it gets better.
A rush of flood warnings blanket parts of Quebec and Ontario.
The sort of wild card factor is Mother Nature, and it's just been raining incessantly.
In Sudbury, Ontario, local businesses have been hit hard.
Yesterday, we had almost 3 feet of water in our basement.
With the snow melt and heavy rain pushing water levels to their max in northern Ontario, farther south, multiple communities are bracing for the worst. In Peterborough, sandbag filling stations have been set up. Water levels along the Trent Severn Waterway in that community continue to increase, and concerns of a full-on flood in parts of that city are on the rise. In Laval, Quebec, the banks of the Mille-Île River have been breached, with homes now at risk. In nearby Saint Jérôme, the pace of this rushing river indicates just how high water levels have risen. Back in Ontario, some communities here expect water levels to continue to increase for at least the next 48 hours.
As of yesterday, we had 15,000 sandbags filled.
You can see to the north of your community just how high the water levels are. It's heading this way. What is your concern this hour?
We have to look at the greater good of the whole population. We have limited resources, and you can't expend them all and risk people's lives to save somebody who did not take the warning.
Here in Minden, approximately 15 people have already been evacuated. They're sending 150 beds to the local community center, and officials here and across multiple provinces and communities are reminding the public to follow evacuation orders and road closures. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Minden, Ontario.
The U.S. National Weather Service has confirmed a tornado touchdown in Michigan Tuesday. The twister has been classified as an EF1, ripping through a gas station and causing damage to several homes and barns around the small town of Middleton, about 200 kilometers northwest of Detroit. Officials estimate winds were gusting up to 175 kilometers an hour, but no serious injuries or deaths have been reported. Meanwhile, northern parts of the state are dealing with similar flooding issues seen in northern Ontario. An American jury has ruled Ticketmaster and its parent company have been operating an illegal and anti-competitive monopoly. Andrew Johnson has more on that decision, including the potential implications for ticket buying here in Canada.
Anyone who has ever felt ripped off by Ticketmaster will likely cheer this ruling. But in order to find out what will change, we need to wait for the encore.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
The Taylor Swift Eras Tour ticket fiasco partially fueled the lawsuit, and the decision by the New York jury could be a devastating blow to massive concert promoter Live Nation.
This is a good day for concert goers. And it was a very, very bad day for Live Nation Ticketmaster.
The company could now be forced to split from Ticketmaster and pay hundreds of millions in fines. The jury also found Ticketmaster overcharged people by close to $2 per ticket. That money plus damages could be coming back to customers. And
it could lead to lower prices. What it almost certainly will lead to is more competition, more opportunities for acts to go to different venues and not end up where Ticketmaster takes a big percentage of the money that's coming out of fans' pockets.
That lawyer told me this U.S.-based ruling does apply to Canadians if the judge awards damages to concertgoers. Someone who bought a ticket to a Canadian show from Ticketmaster will be eligible. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
CTV News London has a newsletter helping you start your day with the latest local headlines. By signing up, you'll get local news content from CTV London direct to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewslondon.ca.
Finally tonight, the crew of Artemis 2 has been back on planet Earth for nearly a week now. And today, the 4 astronauts, including Canadian Jeremy Hansen, faced a number of questions about their historic journey. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
They traveled more than 400,000 kilometers to the far side of the moon and back. Commander Reid Wiseman says the crew launched as friends and returned as best friends.
We are bonded forever. I mean, that's the closest 4 humans can be and not be a family.
For 10 days, the Artemis 2 crew captured the hearts and imagination of the world, going further and faster into space than any human has gone and seeing the moon and the world from brand new perspectives.
We're all kind of struck by these things that make us feel small. And that the sense I had was this sense of fragility and feeling small, infinitesimally small. But yet, this very powerful feeling as a human being, like as a group.
Speaking to reporters from the Johnson Space Center this afternoon, the crew says while they had an idea of the attention their mission was getting, they initially didn't know the extent of it until talking to their families back on Earth.
When my husband looked me in the eye on that video call and said, "No, really, you've made a difference," it brought tears to my eyes, and I said, "That's all we ever wanted."
Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen hopes this mission inspires the next generation of astronauts to dream big and says it underscores the importance of working together.
Don't do it alone, and share what you're trying to accomplish with others, because you need the support of others to do big things. And so share your goals, be brave enough to share them, and then you'll be surprised how people surround you and lift you up to accomplish them.
Asked how optimistic they are that humans could soon have a permanent presence on the moon, Commander Wiseman said not only is it doable, but doable soon. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
That's our time tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Lauren Stallone. Have a good night.